Do the 49ers have the most top-end talent in the NFL of any team, in your opinion?
Okay, so with this one, I actually had to go through some of the rosters just to make sure that I was on point with my thinking here. I do. I think that they do. And the reason that I say that is there is no other team that can say that they have a top 5 player at their position at 6 different positions. And the 49ers are the only team that can say that. In fact, there are maybe 2 other teams that can say that, possibly at 5 other positions. And that would be the Browns and the Chargers. Just depends on if you think Herbert's a top 5 quarterback. Some people do, some people don't. I do personally. But that's borderline. The Browns are borderline at a couple different positions, depending on, how you would rate a couple players. The 49ers have 6 players that are top 5 at their position. The only team that can boast that. They got Juszczyk, Debo. Hey, you got to include it.
The best fullback in the game.
Exactly.
Okay, all right,
Juszczyk, Debo, Trent Williams, Kittle, Bosa, Fred Warner.
Funny how most of those players are on the offense and the defense is better. But yeah, it's very interesting. Yes. Jimmy
and
Ward?
Even if you want to take, well, maybe. I think he's borderline. But even if you want to take Juszczyk out of that, they're the only team that for sure you can say, yes, 5 of those players.
Juszczyk's a weapon.
Can't do it. He's a dog.
All right, yeah. And you know what? The thing that's crazy about him is you could always count on the quarterback holding the Niners back. This year, you just don't know. The only thing the rest of the league can hope on is that his inexperience will hold him back. But if, he hits the ground running like Mahomes and Rodgers, if he, all accounts, he's a very smart guy. He's dedicated. He's been taught well. He just might really do well very quickly. And then boom, you got top end talent at quarterback as well. Now he's not a top 5 quarterback yet, but he does have the talent to be one, which is nice because Jimmy never did ever.
Yeah, and by the way, I think this question is different from the most talented team. I think the most talented team in the NFL is probably the Chargers. And then it's the 49ers or Browns. Because the Chargers you talk about guys that are borderline top 5 or that second wave of players, the guys like Khalil Max who aren't top 5 at their position anymore, but are really freaking good. Guys like, I don't know, Slater, maybe you don't consider him as a top 5 player at his, but stacked. That team is so good. San Diego's a problem, and I'm glad that they're in the AFC. Cincinnati is a problem, but I don't think they're as talented on paper.
Jets are low-key stacked. No one thinks about it because they lost so many games last year, but the Bengals lost a bunch of games the year before. Look at the Jets. Like every position group, they got someone who's not top 5, but is really intriguing. Sauce Gardner, C.J. Mosley, Carl Lawson, Kai Becton, Garrett Wilson, C.J. Uzomah, the tight end, Breece Hall. They're a very young team, but
they got Lakin too, didn't they?
They got Lakin too.
So yeah, Breece Hall's a good one.
Breece Hall, yeah.
But I look at the Chargers, I look at the Browns. Those teams are absolutely set. But that's why I say if Jimmy goes to the Browns, you're talking about a top 3 to 5 roster in the NFL. He could do it again. He could do it again because the roster is so damn good over there.
See, I wonder if the Niners would just be reluctant to send Jimmy Garoppolo to a good team. Jimmy wants to go to a good team, but don't you really not want to put Jimmy in a position where he can win more games than Trey this year? Don't you want to do that?
For sure, but if you cut him, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Well, they haven't cut him.
I swear, if they keep Jimmy Garoppolo because of that, that would be so dumb. It's so dumb.
It would. But I have a bottle of wine running on this, so please keep him so I can win this bet with my dad. 49ers.
Well, I'll say this, though. More importantly, though, Grant, is the 49ers, to me, when you break it down, you compare them to the Rams. The Rams only have 4 of those players. 49ers have 6. And I think that second-tier talent, the 49ers also compete with the Rams. You got guys like Travarius Ward, Jimmy Ward, Brandon Ayuk, those types of guys. And when you compare that with the second-tier talent of the Rams, I think that's very comparable. I look at it and I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC West on paper. I do. Doesn't mean that they're going to win the West, but I think that they are the best team in the NFC West on paper.
If Trey Lance can play like a top 10 quarterback down the stretch and the Niners can keep him upright and he can stay healthy, I'm with you. I'm with you. We'll see.
Even if
We
he's a
shall
top
see.
15 quarter, Grant, Jimmy Garoppolo was like 17 to 22, maybe 17 in his best days. If he's consistently a top 15 guy, I mean, that's probably worth 2 more wins than it was last year.
Possibly. Still, though, I think to really make noise in the playoffs, you need a guy playing like he's top 10. I think Trey can. I
I
think
do
he
too.
can. I just
do
wish
too.
he'd gotten a little bit more experience last year. What a
I agree.
mistake. But it didn't. Again, there's precedent that this could work. And he did
I
look
agree.
very sharp in minicamp. So I'm not writing him off. I haven't seen anything to indicate that the Niners' plan isn't working. It seems to be working so far with Lance. So we'll see.
That's fair. But I also agree that he would have been ahead, even further ahead, had he played last year. I don't know how anybody can argue against that. Trey Lance himself said the weeks that he made the biggest leaps was when he played.
That's
So
right. Anyway, he had a broken finger. Now it's healthy. Everything, all systems go. As long as they can keep him upright and they don't Andrew Luck him, this team could really exceed expectations. I'm excited. We'll see what
as
happens.
long as they don't Andrew Luck him, that's great. Yes, I hope that
Sorry.
doesn't happen either.
Sorry. Because everyone, no one cares about that anymore. It's like, oh, Joe Burrow bounced back. Like, okay, well, Andrew Luck didn't. So be careful. Andrew
A
Luck
lot
was
of
just like,
quarterbacks.
I'm done. I hate this organization. Whoa. Be careful.
And it's not like Andrew Luck took them. Didn't he take them to the playoffs his first year?
Yeah. Yes.
We're a terrible team.
Yeah, he was the team. He was great. He was great. And he should still be playing, but he's not. And I blame Indianapolis.
God, if he was still on the Colts, they would be so stacked right now.